Hey Gareth, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you. I like your shelf, trying to spot everything.
Incredibly nerdy.
Obviously, Boba Fett. My God, I need glasses to see the rest. Okay.
Oh yeah. Got an Andor poster up there, so very much on brand. Just first up, absolutely loved the movie. Thought it was fantastic. Like,
Cheers.
what is it about working with the smaller crew and the smaller budget that makes films like this just kind of pop, I guess.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know. Maybe it's something about me psychologically. I don't like lots of people around. Um, it kind of puts me off. I like to be like the minimum number of people. Like in a way, it's the if you could just go and make the film with you and the actors, you would, but things are complicated and you need technicians that can help you do all sorts of things. And so just trying to reduce everything. And we had like hundreds of people on this crew, but we kept them out of sight. So what we would do, I wanted to have a 360-degree view most of the times whenever we could. And so um, basically hidden probably round the back of a building or down under a bridge or something, there was a video, screen and video village, but no one could see them. So it was just me and the sound guy and maybe two of the people and the actors. And we would be shooting the film sometimes. And because it was the pandemic or just after, tourists were being let back into Thailand. And we weren't allowed to close beaches and things like this because, they paid all this money to finally come. And so we'd shoot stuff with like Gemma Chan running down the beach and it wasn't closed. And I kept waiting for tourists to come up want selfies and put all of our, footage online and no one ever did because we looked so small.
Oh wow.
It looked like a student film. And there's something very liberating about that because you can just see opportunities, and typically on a big movie, you see something really cool, like, oh, that's cool, let's just go over there and do this. And everyone's like, no, we can't because we have to move all the trucks, and all these things that are there to help you strangely hold you back. And so it's just a desire to have freedom, really.
No, I totally get that. And it's kind of what I was saying before, it's very impressive, like with that approach, how big the film feels. Like I was kind of thinking back to some of the older films like Godzilla with the Halo jump scene and the Death Star reveal on Scarif from Rogue One. Your ability with scale is just phenomenal. Like, how do you approach the idea of scaling your movies? Because the ship behind you is massive, and even like when it's locking on, it's just like it just looks huge in a cinematic way that you don't always get.
Well, there's lots of little tricks. If you want to talk about this one, I can tell you some.
Oh yeah.
A really obvious trick, once you point it out, is like never show the edges. So you notice conveniently a bit of cloud off the edges, because then your brain is left to the imagination. You can imagine it way longer. Whenever we did shots and you see the edges, it doesn't look so big. So you sort of like you hide all that. Obviously, the scale of things is all relative. So you always try and have something massive and then make it look small and put it in front of it. So you're like, oh my God, this must be so big. It's just all like tricks of like, you just develop. I used to do visual effects. So the cheapest thing in the world was like, okay, let's imagine you're making a building in visual effects, in Photoshop even, right? And you've got a person and it's a 2-story building, or you just scale it and it's like a 20-story building, and so therefore it looks like 10 times the budget, right? So you just scale everything all the time, and then you learn like over time there's a bit more to it than that. But yeah, I mean, scale is free. It's the same price to do something looking massive as it is to do something looking small. So it's like, go massive, right? It's
Brilliant.
We're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
Obviously, with everything going on with AI now, it's all, is AI good or is it bad? Is it stealing jobs? Is it all that kind of stuff? Your approach in the film is very much not AI bad, it's very much people and AI can be bad, but also not. Like, I was expecting very much go into this like Terminator approach, AI bad, because of how the conversation about it has been recently. How have you seen that kind of narrative line up against the narrative in your film? Because it is quite different. There's a lot of love and a lot of humanity in the AI, which isn't like that now.
Yeah, it's funny because when all the trailers first came out, all the marketing and stuff, like, you don't want to give too much away, and so the very fast setup of our movie, it feels very Terminator-y, and I did read some of the comments like an idiot. I'd read some of the comments on
Bold
YouTube
move.
clips,
Bad
and it'd be
idea.
like, oh, people would talk about the Terminator, and I'd be like, really, the Terminator? Like, because I think our film borrows from a lot of movies, but it wasn't Terminator in terms of the design and the robot stuff. But I don't think the movie it starts off. I hope it starts off in a way that's using all those familiar films and setup, as the launch pad, and then hopefully it takes a left turn and does something else.
Okay.
Yeah, because if anything, I think the thing we're trying to do, because I love all those movies and this whole movie is a love letter to those films,
And you can tell.
but it's like the thing we're trying to do is just humanize the robots and the AI and sort of show a version of them that I think's a lot more, hopefully maybe more realistic in the long term, that they will have, you will have empathy towards them. I think it's hard not to. There was an experiment someone did because they were trying to figure out if we would accept AI as real, and they gave this sort of talking bunny rabbit toy to people, and they interacted it with for half an hour, and then they give them a sledgehammer and said, "Smash it up. I'll give you $100," and no one would take the $100 because they'd fell in love. Well, they just got to know the toy, right? Even though they knew it was plastic, there's no soul in it. It's just batteries. I think it's a very human quality that when you get to know something, you like it. You know what I mean? You relate to it, and I think that's that's the heart of this story. Is there's this AI, you can save the world, just kill it, and the more you get to know it, like the more difficult it is to kill that thing.
No, totally, and that comes across all the way in the film. I think I spotted 2 Rogue One references in there when I was watching it. Like, I know one of them was easy because it was it said Scarif on screen.
Okay, yeah.
And like, I was wondering, are there any other hints towards any of the other projects that you've done in the past? Any other sort of Easter eggs just knocking about?
By the way, I didn't put Scarif on there.
Really?
People doing the visual effects put it on as a little giggly joke when they presented it, and then I was like, oh, you can leave it on, that's cool. There is another Easter egg in there to do with Rogue One, and no one spotted it yet, so I'm not telling anyone. But there is a thing that is quite clear once you know where to look.
Oh, cool. I saw a spot which looked like the London Underground, and I was like, is that? No.
That's in Bangkok. It is a train station. It's a train station, but it's in Bangkok.
Oh, cool. But I think any question I ask more now would go over my time, so I think that's probably me, but I really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Seatbelts.